Hey guys, let's chat about something pretty cool. So, like, over 1400 years ago, the Quran was all about telling us to really check out the universe, right? Not just take things at face value, but to actually think about it. It mentions how the heavens and the earth were once all together, and then split apart. Sounds familiar, huh? Yeah, science calls that the Big Bang. And get this, it even says the universe is still expanding, which is something we just figured out in modern astronomy. Crazy, right? Then there's this part about the sun and the moon moving in these super precise orbits. And guess what? Science backs that up, saying all those celestial bodies are on paths controlled by gravity, keeping everything in balance. Oh, and the Quran talks about mountains acting like stabilizers for our planet. Today, we know they have deep roots underground that help keep those tectonic plates steady. Pretty neat. It also mentions rain falling just right and water being stored underground. That's basically the water cycle we learn about in school: evaporation, condensation, and all that jazz. And here's a fun fact. The Quran talks about barriers between seas. Oceanography has confirmed there are these invisible lines between waters with different salt levels and densities. How cool is that? It even describes the darkness in the deep oceans, which lines up with what we know today about sunlight disappearing as you go deeper into the sea. Now, here's a big one. It says all living things are made from water. That's a biological fact we can't ignore, since every living cell needs water. When it comes to how humans are created, it describes stages, from a drop to a little clinging form, and then to bones wrapped in flesh. Modern embryology totally backs that up, and it talks about fertilizing winds that help plants grow and form clouds. Plus, it mentions iron coming down from the heavens, which is actually confirmed by astrophysics, since we know iron comes from exploding stars. Mind blown. So, while the Quran isn't a science textbook, it's definitely a book of signs. Signs that invite us to think, to learn, and to see how faith and knowledge can totally vibe together. There are so many signs in creation for those who take a moment to reflect on them. All right, that's my little spiel. What do you think?